6 months ago, I was 100 kilograms. I couldn't run 1 kilometer without stopping and being out of breath, and I wore oversized clothes because I was just embarrassed of my body, the way I looked, the way I felt, and how people would perceive me. But then I signed up for a half marathon, I completed it, and then I ended up signing for a Hyrox, which is what I'm going to be talking about in this video. And in this video, I'm going to be taking you over the full thing, why I signed up, what my training and my nutrition actually look like. Also, behind the scenes footage of me on the race day, the morning before, and also some behind the scenes photos and videos. And finally, I'm going to be leaving you with some lessons I've learned from Hyrox and also my plan moving forward on pushing my limits. So for those of you who don't know what a Hyrox is, it is a fitness race where you have 8 total stations and 8 kilometers of running. So the way it works in the format is you run 1 kilometer, you do a station such as skiing or pushing a sled, burpees, lunges, you get the point. So 8 total stations, and in between each station you run 1 kilometer. So you'll do 1 kilometer, you'll do a sled push, you'll do another kilometer, and you'll do burpees or wall balls, something like that. So let's start with why I actually signed up. Now, as I told you at the beginning, I was overweight, I had no self-respect for myself, I couldn't run 1 kilometer without stopping, and I was just going to the gym, doing a traditional push-pull legs workout, and I was not seeing any achievement. I wasn't using my body for anything, apart from maybe lifting a suitcase here or there. But then when I saw Hyrox, when I saw a half marathon, I felt that I could do something outside of my comfort zone, which I could actually train for and then achieve. I was training for an end goal, an event, whether that be to just complete it or to have a goal such as timing in a run or even timing in a Hyrox. So for my half marathon, the moment I completed it, I had such a huge sense of pride, such a huge sense of self-achievement. I felt so much respect for myself that from a person who couldn't run 1 kilometer without stopping, I genuinely trained, had a strict diet, trained, ran mostly every day, and then achieved the half marathon without stopping once, which was my goal. So naturally you get that feeling and you get addicted to actually pushing your limits. Plus it teaches you that your body is much more capable of what you genuinely think it is. If any of you know who David Goggins is, he mentions the 40% rule, which basically means that when you feel like you're tired, when you feel like you've done enough with your body, you're only 40% of the way there. And in the half marathon, I definitely felt that. So naturally I wanted to do something else, and the next thing I saw was a Hyrox. Now I didn't do a Hyrox singles, I did a Hyrox doubles with my friend, but this was the easiest one in my opinion, and that's why I started with this. So training was completely different and nutrition was pretty much the same. So training was definitely different from my traditional push, pull and legs. I wasn't doing any weight training like that. I was using kettlebells for full body movements and mobility, as well as a lot of endurance, running, skiing, rowing, all of these things, pushing a sled, different parts of my body. I was doing pull-ups, body weight movements, push-ups, all of these things, which I actually felt stronger after that. Plus I genuinely felt I was using my whole body rather than just sitting on a bench and pushing up and down in one direction. So this sort of training is actually what I'm doing right now, and I feel like it's very beneficial compared to the old traditional push, pull, legs. And nutrition was pretty strict as well. I was eating 1 gram of protein per pound of my body weight, and my carbs and fats were pretty low. Fats are around 0.3 to 0.4 grams per pound of body weight, and the rest was actually filled with carbs. Now I'm going to quickly shift to what actually race day was like, my feelings, my behind the scenes footage, and also some photos and videos of the actual Hyrox event. Okay, so it is the day of Hyrox, okay? In Cardiff right now. Really nice view, as you can see behind me. And honestly, how am I feeling? I mean, I had a bit of a nightmare actually, that I had the wrong clothing and everything, and it didn't really work out. But anyway, that's what's gonna happen, it's nerves. But yeah, I've got my pre-workout to have during the warm-up zone. Also I've got a gel I'm gonna have half an hour before my Hyrox starts. But for now I'm gonna just have some fruits, I'm gonna have some toast with honey, and I'm gonna have some rice cakes as well, and obviously just stay hydrated. And apart from that, we're just gonna see how it goes. But next I will probably be showing the venue and some clips of me and everything. But yeah, I'm feeling good, bit of nerves obviously. It's gonna be a massive venue in a stadium and everything, so it's gonna be pretty cool. But I will see you there, and yeah, hope everything goes to plan. Finally did Hyrox, and really good experience. Definitely underestimated it. The sleds were way heavier than I thought, and the wall balls I literally almost blacked out. So that was like such an experience, but an amazing experience. I'm definitely going to be doing more. Going to be doing singles open and then singles pro. What an experience, really pushes you to the limits, and it's a mental thing. And my legs are gone, but I've recovered and I'm ready for the next one. But all in all, amazing experience in Cardiff, and I can't wait to be back for another one. Now if we come to lessons I learned, I think one lesson really stands out, and that is that you want to be practicing the same way you're going to be performing, which means that if you're doing wall balls, for me for example, I trained wall balls with a medicine ball, and I never actually trained with a target in mind. Now in wall balls, you have to actually hit an X and only then does it count as 1 rep. I never had the X in my gym, so I could never actually train like that. Plus, the medicine ball and the actual ball you actually use in Hyrox is completely different. Yes, it's 6 kg, but the way you catch it, the whole size of it is very different. So make sure to train with the actual equipment you're going to be using in the event. The same with sled push. The way I've been training with the sled in my gym is different to the Hyrox sled. My sled, I could actually put my arms around and use that traditional way of pushing the sled. However, in the actual Hyrox, the bars were actually more narrow, so I found it hard to put my arms around, and that way I couldn't do it. So I just ended up pushing the sled in the event the normal way that any ordinary person would do it, and I used much more energy, and it was actually slower than I practiced. Now moving forward, as I said from the half marathon, you get addicted. You get this feeling of pushing more, pushing past your limits, knowing your body can actually do more, and get that sense of training for something that you know is hard right now, but you know you can get there, and it'll feel so good. You'll get so much self-respect for yourself after that event is actually done, after you actually achieve your goal, and after you actually push past something which you thought you could have never done. So on this channel, I'm going to be showing all of those events I'm doing, whether that be a Hyrox, a marathon, a 10k with a specific time goal I have in mind, and many more things. Also, I'm not where I want to be in terms of my weight, so I'm going to be showing that whole journey of documenting my fat loss, weight loss, and keeping my muscle. So if that sounds interesting to you, consider subscribing to the channel. I will see you in the next one. Stay safe and keep pushing.